You've been asking God for a financial breakthrough, praying, fasting, speaking declarations, even doing everything you were told would unlock blessing, and still, nothing seems to shift. Meanwhile, someone at your workplace who barely acknowledges God just closed on another property, upgraded their lifestyle, and keeps moving forward. And you're left sitting there thinking, Lord, what am I missing? Why does it feel like I've been overlooked? Here's the truth most people never hear from the pulpit. God has already responded to that prayer. Not in a vague way, not in a hidden way, but clearly, directly, and repeatedly throughout Scripture. The principles for building wealth aren't a mystery. They're written plainly in Proverbs, demonstrated in Genesis, and spoken directly by Jesus himself. The blueprint has been sitting within reach the entire time. The issue is, you've probably never approached it as a financial guide. And no, this isn't about surface-level teachings like, just give your tithe and wait. That matters, but that's only the beginning. There are deeper layers, practical instructions, disciplined steps that apply whether you're starting with abundance or starting from zero. So if you're tired of being the most spiritually active person in the room yet still struggling financially, stay with me. Because it's not that God hasn't spoken. It's that there are things he's already said that haven't been applied yet. The Bible references money over 200-300 times. That's not accidental. That's emphasis. God wasn't trying to be subtle. He wanted clarity. He didn't want you chasing money or idolizing it. He wanted you to understand it. And within Scripture, he laid out a system, step by step, principle by principle. But most believers never read it that way. They read it devotionally, not practically. Yet it's a complete framework written by the Creator himself. So let's walk through those steps. Not hype, not empty promises, but grounded, disciplined instructions that work regardless of where you begin. Step 1. Develop your ability before chasing opportunity. Proverbs tells us that a person skilled in their craft will stand before kings, not remain unnoticed. Before God entrusted Israel with wealth, he first gave a man named Bezalel skill. In Exodus, the Spirit of God filled him, not for preaching, not for miracles, but for craftsmanship, precision, and intelligence in his work. That's significant. The first recorded filling of the Spirit was for practical ability. That tells you something important. You don't begin with money, you begin with mastery. Skill is the starting point. Right now, someone with nothing in their bank account still holds something valuable. Time to learn. And skill is a seed that doesn't cost money to plant, but once it grows, it produces fruit people are willing to pay for. So don't wait, start immediately. Choose one skill that has value in the real world. Writing, editing, coding, designing, building, cooking, tailoring, anything useful. Learn it. Resources are everywhere. Free platforms, tutorials, books. You're not lacking access, only action. Ecclesiastes makes it clear if your tool is dull, you'll have to work twice as hard. So sharpen it first. Step 2. Work consistently, even when no one is pushing you. Proverbs points to the ant, a small creature with no supervisor, no authority over it, yet it prepares diligently. It doesn't wait for instructions. It recognizes seasons and acts accordingly. That's discipline. Faith without action, as James writes, is lifeless. And a lifeless faith produces no results. One of the biggest mistakes people make is disguising inactivity as spirituality. Saying, I'm waiting on God, when in reality, God is waiting on movement. Look at the widow in 2 Kings. She was overwhelmed with debt, on the brink of losing everything. When she cried out, the miracle didn't remove her responsibility, it required it. She had to gather containers, pour the oil, and sell it. God multiplied. But she moved. And here's the part many overlook: the flow stopped when the jars ran out. The extent of her preparation determined the extent of her provision. Effort doesn't cancel faith, it proves it. Step 3. Plan before you build. Jesus himself taught this. Before constructing anything, you sit down and calculate. That's not optional, it's wisdom. Budgeting is biblical. Joseph didn't just pray during Egypt's years of abundance. He implemented a structured plan, saving a portion consistently to prepare for the famine ahead. That was strategy. That was foresight. Without a plan, money disappears unnoticed. If income comes in and vanishes without clarity, the issue isn't lack, it's awareness. Start tracking everything. Every expense. Every habit. Within a month, patterns will reveal themselves. And those patterns are either building you or draining you. Step 4. Eliminate debt as a priority. Scripture is direct about this. the borrower becomes a servant to the lender. That's not symbolic language, it's literal. Every obligation you owe limits your freedom. You can't build something lasting while constantly paying off the past. Debt takes your future earnings and hands them to someone else. So create a plan. List everything you owe. Start with the smallest. Pay it off aggressively while maintaining minimum payments elsewhere. Then move to the next. One by one, gradually, consistently until the weight lifts. Remember the widow again, she didn't start with abundance. She started with one jar. But she used it, and it multiplied. Step 5. Grow wealth gradually and consistently. Scripture dismantles the idea of instant wealth. It teaches steady accumulation. Small, faithful steps repeated over time. In the parable of the talents, the servants who invested what they were given were rewarded. The one who hid it, who did nothing, was called lazy and unfaithful. That's serious. God expects increase. Not reckless risk, not hoarding, but intentional growth. Even if you can only save a small portion, start there. Build the habit. Over time, consistency compounds. This isn't about luck, it's about patience. And patience is not passive, it's disciplined persistence. Step 6. Don't depend on a single source. Ecclesiastes encourages diversification, spreading your efforts because the future is uncertain. Relying on one stream alone leaves you vulnerable. The Proverbs 31 woman is a perfect example. She managed multiple streams: property, agriculture, production, trade. She didn't rely on one thing. You don't need perfection to begin, you need movement. Offer your skills. Start small ventures. Provide services. Use what you already have. Opportunities exist everywhere, you just have to act on them. Step 7. Protect what you build. Without discipline, income slips away. Proverbs compares a lack of self-control to a city without walls, completely exposed. Spending without restraint, chasing appearances, upgrading constantly, these habits quietly erode progress. True growth requires boundaries. Self-control isn't just practical, it's spiritual. Every time you resist unnecessary spending, you're choosing long-term purpose over short-term impulse. Step 8. Surround yourself with wisdom. Who you listen to matters. Your environment influences your thinking. Walking with wise people sharpens you. You don't need expensive mentorship to grow. Knowledge is accessible. Learn from those who've already walked the path. Ask questions. Apply what you hear. Plans succeed when guided by counsel. Don't try to figure everything out alone. Step 9. Build with integrity. Dishonesty may produce quick gains, but it won't last. Scripture makes it clear. Integrity matters deeply to God. Cutting corners, misleading others, exploiting situations, that foundation will collapse. But honest, consistent effort builds something lasting. Your reputation is more valuable than profit. And what you build today should be something that outlives you, something your future generations can stand on with pride. Now hear this clearly. If you've been praying and wondering why things haven't changed, it's not because God is ignoring you. It's because He has already given direction. God gives the ability to create wealth, but you have to use it. The opportunity is in your hands. The resources are around you. The guidance is already written. You're not forgotten. You're not stuck. You're standing in front of a blueprint that simply hasn't been followed yet. So start now. Learn something. Take action. Make a plan. Remove a burden. Save a portion. Build something small. Seek wisdom. Just begin. And if something inside you shifted while hearing this, don't let it fade. Act on it. Because the difference between where you are and where you want to be is not prayer alone. It's obedience paired with action. The path has been there all along. Now it's time to walk it.